Okay, hey, what's up everyone? True Technical Gamer here. I'm not sure how much I'll be able to capture and how much of this video I'll get out there to you guys, but I am here. I made it. Capital Audio Fest in Maryland. This is the last day. It's Sunday. I got a few hours. I barely made it. Got some family stuff going on. Had to deal with. So, you know how it is. It's a parent and everything. But I did make it. I got a couple hours here. So I just arrived. I'm in the lobby, the hotel now. There's a bunch of vinyl stuff here and a couple rooms down here. Last year was my first year here, and it was kind of the first year kind of coming out of the pandemic. So it was definitely lightly attended and things weren't kind of fully fleshed out. I was looking forward to kind of knowing now the perspective to check out some things and come here this year. So yeah, I'll check it out. I may try to capture some cool things if I see some cool things, some cool demos. I did capture some stuff last year, but I don't think I ever published it on my channel or anything. But we'll see what I capture this year. But Capital Audio Fest, checking out some high-end speakers and some cool sound demos. Maybe meeting some folks. We'll see. Yep, just letting you guys know I did make it. So a couple listening rooms here I'm gonna check out, and some of the rooms upstairs I'll check out as well. So, True Technical Gamer, signing off. Legacy audio.
There's one message you find a person's mind becomes as cold as ice. Why do you keep on making us hear your song?
They sound amazing.
They really do. Cause if you really wanna hear our views, you haven't done nothing.
Sound stage is incredible. Tweeter and the highs are just some of the best I've ever heard. The sparkle, it's crazy.
Quite like I can. I take a muscle bound man and put his face in the sand. That's the last mafioso. I'm an MC cop. Make it say go LL and do the wild. If you think it out, get boy I'm back. Cause I ain't met a motherfucker who can do that yet. Trendsetter, I'm better. My rhymes are good. I gotta go make it rain. That says I wish you would. And when the time begin, then I gotta join in. And before my rhyme is over, you know I'ma win. Cool J is a rhyme, so you better make way. Ask anybody in the crowd, they say the kid don't play. Competition, that's my hobby and job. I don't wear the scout because I don't over my. Got a pinpoint rap that makes you feel trapped. So many girls on my jacket, I keep my phone intact. I'm back. Cool J. Cool J. Cool J.
Magicos. Magical S series. I believe these are the S5s, I want to say. They sound pretty good.
All the love of you.
Sounds great.
I wanna be living for the love of you. All that I'm giving, oh, is for the love of you. Paradise I have within, can't feel insecure again. You're the key. Oh, this I see, this I see.
Liberian girl, you know that you came and you changed my world, just like in the movies. Two lovers in a scene, and she says, do you love me? And he says so endlessly, I love you, Liberian girl. Nakupenda pia, nakutaka pia,
Shine when he's gone, and he's always gone too long. Anytime he goes away, I wonder this time where he's gone. Wonder how long he's gonna stay. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone, and this house just ain't no home. Anytime he goes away.
They got the Paradigm Personas. Sounding good.
see you in another life. Long as you got me in this mood, and I won't do nothing for you. I won't do.
You know it's like lightning. Hey, now, letters burning by my bed for you. Hey now, leave it to the wayside like you do for you. Imagination calling mirrors for you. Hey now.
So there you have it, guys. Capital Audiophiles 2022. I just wanted to give a little bit of kind of a wrap up of sorts for me. Talk through it. This is the next day now, but I wanted to say, man, like I had a great time, and it was an awesome show. My impressions were better than last year in terms of just my being impressed by the sound and the music that I was listening to. Everything almost that I heard sounded really, really good. I mean, was impressive, truthfully impressive. For me, it was a great time. Unfortunately, I didn't have a whole lot of time. I went Sunday, the last day of the show, and I really only had like 3 hours. And it was a lot. It was 4 stories, 4 floors. well over 100 rooms. I don't know, well over 100 rooms, probably approaching 200 rooms. It was a lot to see. So I tried to kind of do a quick kind of whirlwind tour, trying to touch on every floor and every room just about. Of course, I didn't go into every room, but I at least tried to touch on every floor and just see what was there. And I tried to get as much coverage as I could. But I did not see everything, of course. I didn't go into every room, and I didn't get to spend, lots of quality time. Even when the rooms I was there, I kind of hopped in, was there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops, and then jetted out so I can keep going. So what was my key takeaways? Well, for one, there was a big focus on not the speakers and not the components, not the preamp and amps per se. I mean, of course they were there, but a lot of the rooms, and you saw some of that in the video, was really about like the companies that were building the accessories to try to augment the system and try to enhance and optimize the system. So there was a lot of, speaker cable companies and power cable companies and room acoustic companies and, stuff like that that was showing off their things. And of course, they're going to use some high-end, speakers and electronics to show off their product, their cables or whatever. But that was a big part of it. You saw like the Paradigm Persona room I highlighted there. That was not a Paradigm room. There wasn't a Paradigm rep to be found. That was the company M101 showing off those crazy high-end cables that are 5 figures, guys. And I talked to the guy and he was just like, he loves Paradigm Persona because they're so transparent that they really can show every minute difference in the system. In fact, he gave me a quick demo where he highlighted their Ethernet cable, which literally is like 10 grand for an Ethernet cable that was plugged into the streamer. And at one point he put in like a generic regular Ethernet cable, played the music, and then put in their $10,000 Ethernet cable. And truth be told, man, I actually heard a difference. No lie. I mean, it wasn't night and day, but I heard a difference. And his point was that is, a testament to Persona because they're so transparent that they really, really can show every little detail and just how good the entire system is end to end. And that's the sign of a really, high quality speaker for sure. But that was just an example. Cat was the one that had the Magico speakers in there. That was kind of a speaker, system. Speaker cable and kind of power cable thing. So there was a lot of that. And now I have this new perspective where I've been thinking a lot more about cables and do cables make a difference? How much of a difference? Where's the line with your, return on investment, your ROI? Because again, cables, man, there are cables out there that are 6 figures. Like no lie. Like to get a pair of speaker cables, there are some companies out there that have cables that are literally over 100 grand. Why would you ever spend that? Is that ever really necessary? I mean, what would you need to have in your system to justify that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know the answer. And at this point, I'm still kind of the mindset that it doesn't make that much of a difference. But I can tell you that it does make it. Like I've heard it. And even last year, there was a guy that did a demo where he changed out the power cords. And I heard the difference there too. So there's obviously a lot of people in this community that believes that cables make a difference. And I think, if you obviously have the money to invest into, you saw the prices of these speakers and systems, you're talking, 5 figure easily, some cases 6 figure for your system. You probably don't mind spending another couple grand at least on some, a power cable or speaker cables to make sure that you're justifying, your costs and just in getting the most out of that high-end equipment. It's probably not necessary. It's probably a first world problem, let's be honest. But yeah, I think that's the intent, and there are some differences there. So that was definitely a key point. The other key takeaway was looking at the tweeter technology with the speakers. There was a lot of ribbon tweeters and a lot of diamond tweeters. And this was interesting to me because, at this level, everything here, again, is 5 figures and up pretty much. But really, really, really high-end stuff. Beryllium has always been, I've been of the mindset and the understanding, I guess, that beryllium was kind of like the ultimate material that at least that we have access to now For tweeters in particular, they're kind of like the ultimate speaker material because of their combination of stiffness and lightweight, right? So they can move fast, but they can move very controlled. But they're hard to deal with because beryllium is pretty rare and it's also toxic and is pretty difficult to manufacture. So most speakers that have beryllium are pretty expensive, like pretty high-end stuff, of course. Most speakers. Diamond is out there. I mean, B&W is probably one of the most known brands to use diamond, but I'm seeing a lot more of these kind of worldwide brands that are highlighting diamond tweeters as upgrades. Like they might say, here's your base tweeter with a soft dome or with the beryllium in some cases, but we have a upgraded version that uses diamond or something like that. You saw the last video, the Estalon, which was a speaker I never really heard in person, and I was actually anxious to hear because I heard great things about their speakers. But they had two versions of that speaker, right? So they had the XB there, and they had a beryllium tweeter one that was like $47,000, and then they had an upgraded diamond tweeter one that was like $55,000. And I couldn't help but ask the guy, like the rep, like, is the diamond one really better? Is it really better performing? And his answer was kind of curious. He basically said it's not so much that the diamond tweeter itself is better performing, but it's more expensive to use diamond, even over beryllium apparently. Like that's why you don't see like a pure diamond tweeter. First of all, that probably wouldn't make sense, acoustically, but you wouldn't see that. What you see is usually like a vapor deposited diamond, like a diamond coating on top of an aluminum or beryllium tweeter, that kind of thing. And even that is really expensive. He mentioned that the tweeter by itself is probably $5-6 grand. And that's kind of where that price difference comes from. But it's not so much that it's better performing, but that they made other upgrades to the tweeter design and construction around the diamond material that ultimately makes the tweeter, higher performing. So that was curious. I mean, the Martin speakers as well that was playing the LL Cool J jam. Those speakers as well had an upgrade version that used a diamond tweeter. So there was a good amount of that was kind of news to me. That diamond is still kind of really a thing that a lot of the real high end companies are still using, still manufacturing, and still kind of touting as being like their ultimate. Curious. So yeah, that's that, man. It was a great highlight to find that the designer of Acora acoustic speakers actually watched my video where I did the shootout, the ultra high-end speaker shootout that I mentioned Acora as well. He saw that and he recognized it. When I talked about it, he was like, "Oh yeah, you did that shootout video," and that kind of just made my day, man. That was awesome to hear that people are actually paying attention to me. But that was cool. And yeah, man, like I said, the other thing is when you look at, a show like this, Capital Audio Fest, see all of these crazy speakers in rooms, super high end, super expensive stuff. But when you really look at it, everything there is catered to music, right? In terms of speakers and electronics, it's all about getting the best possible music, the best possible music quality, and not really home theater focused, right? Now, home theater doesn't require the level of precision and accuracy that music does. So in a lot of ways, I think this price and this level of equipment would probably be wasted on just a home theater. But to be honest, most of these companies they're not thinking about home theater, right? They don't even make a center channel. They don't make, in some cases, they don't even make a bookshelf to have a surround, but they definitely don't make dedicated surrounds. They don't make subwoofers, and that tells you like what their focus is. So, I've been saying this, guys. I'm just trying to be clear, but I've been saying that, when I look for myself, I'm looking for a speaker brand that can give me a world-class multi-purpose or dual-purpose level of equipment that can do music and theater equally well and equally high-end. And when you think about it like that, that limits the playing field quite a bit because 90% or 80 to 90% of the speakers I saw, at the show would not really be suitable for a home theater, at least a matching home theater. Yeah, you can get any speakers you want. It'll play, and if it's a high-end speaker, it probably will sound good. But if you got to get another brand center channel and another brand surround speakers, you don't have, you have this mismatched system. That can have its own consequences and kind of, constraints in terms of the quality you get for theater, at least. So ideally, yeah, you want to keep the same brand and ideally the same line. And a lot of these companies don't even do that. So that's why, I looked at companies like Focal and Paradigm and B&W and Per-Listen now, right? Because they are clearly, equally adept at making home theater. They all make subwoofers and center speakers and surrounds and stuff like that too. So you can really build out a full system there. Besides, if you were going to get like some crazy, $50,000, $100,000 towers for your left and right, did you imagine what it would cost to build a similarly spec'd out home theater system? The center channel is probably $30,000, and the surrounds would be like 30. It'll be astronomically expensive. So you don't really see that. So again, great stuff. If I was looking for a dedicated 2-channel system and money was no object, like this is the kid in the candy store type show, and it was really cool to see. Obviously, it's not practical though for most people. And if you're looking for typical home theater or just watching TV and doing stuff like that with your system, most of these things are probably just overkill for that purpose, quite honestly. And you'll want to look down the line with some of these brands or just look at a different brand altogether. So, but awesome show. I'm glad I got a chance to go. I can't wait for next year. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video and enjoyed some of the samples I showed. True Techno Gamer, appreciate you watching the video and all the support. Please like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're into this, what speakers you may have, what things look cool to you. And if you're at the show, also let me know so I can try to hook up with you next year. Till next time, True Techno Gamer signing off.